cloud. Hey gang, it's Powerhouse Pam Waters of Maryland Coy's Notary Show. Thank you for joining us today. We have Christine, Cindy, Angela, Tamiko, who has Dee Dee, Cassandra, Carla, Angela, and anybody else who's coming in later. And we having a special guest later on, Dominica Robinson of C.O.I.N's Notary Service. But right now, we're going to just chat about things that are happening in Maryland. And so I know, Christine, you wanted to say something, so go ahead.
Oh, just real quick to the group, we have that new bill that just recently been passed to increase our fees and lift some of the restrictions of C.O.I.N. So as notaries, we have to show up during the public comments because I was told that we're not going to be increased all the way to $25. So the Secretary of State may just give us the increase in increments. So we need to let our voices be heard. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
So and if anybody else wants, this is the bill she's referring to. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
So it's the Maryland Senate 317 bill. And so if you want to add anything to it, you can, and you want to read it real quick. But the request is to go from $4 to $25 and also increasing to $50, I think, for C.O.I.N, which Shanita's already doing. So take the time, read this bill, and as she said, participate. Oh, go ahead, Cindy.
Good afternoon. So how can you find out? I saw on your page where they're having a meeting tomorrow, I think at 10 or something.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yeah.
So how can you, so you can attend, and I mean, I guess via Zoom, or how can you respond back to this bill? Like, how can you be a part to make your comments or make your voices heard? I'm sorry if I don't.
We have one. Who said they were gonna say something? Go ahead, Christine.
Oh, okay. So what I learned is that there would be a period of time. Well, what the Secretary of State has to do is they have to write the regulations to align it with the law. And so there's a public comment period where all the notaries can respond. So we're just watching the Secretary of State's website, trying to find out when that public comment period is available. So I'm following, I believe her name is Candace Willis, and she's been a part of that whole process.
Right. So she's part of the Maryland Coin. So I was hoping that she would come on here and share that knowledge, because she did have a clubhouse last night about it. But I would say go back to the Secretary of State and sign up there. And then if you can, attend the meeting that they're having tomorrow and ask that specific question to them. Because this y'all want to go from 4 to 25, right? Because I'm trying to tell you, that's a game changer.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be a serious game changer in all of our money. Instead of hustling all the time, you can still hustle all the time, but the hustle is going to bring you in more money, right?
That's right.
That's right.
So let me stop sharing this one. Dominica. Ms. Robinson, because you got to tell me what
Dominica.
It's Dee Dee's fault. Dominica. Oh, I got a girlfriend named Dominique, so I remember now. Dominica. We were just talking about Maryland passing a law that we can go from $4 to $25, because I know in California how much they allow you to charge
per signature.
Well, we do per stamp, so.
Oh, okay. Ours is per signature. It's $15 per signature.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I mean, you could charge travel fee as well, but it's regulated per signature.
And so we're going to get someone from the state on here as well, because some of us are confused if it's stamp or signature as well, but I've always been taught it was per stamp for Maryland. I know it's different from most states, but Maryland got some laws that we have to stick to it, or our orange is going to be new to black, because a lot of people don't have to follow the same laws like we do.
Yeah, each state law is different. It's really important to know those laws.
Right. So Anybody else have any quick things about Maryland before we move on to the next thing? We were just chatting and stuff. We just getting to know each other. Because there go Dee Dee and Christine and Cindy. Y'all, and there go Shanita. You just popped up. You over there making noise or something.
I did know. I said I had it. Did you all see the IRA rate for mileage went up to 62.5 cents, starting effective the 9th of June for the remainder of the year. So if you're using whatever you use to track it, just make sure that you go in and change it effective June the 9th.
Yeah. Notary Gadget already showing the change on mine.
So instead of 0.585, it's 0.62. I don't know what the other number is behind it. And because you want to make sure you get your mileage, you want to get everything that you entitled to, because we don't get that much. So you want to make sure you get everything you're entitled to. Anything else you want to share about Ron real quick, Shanita?
No, I should be good for the first Sunday in July.
You posted something in the group, so.
Oh yes, so Closing Exchange, for those who are working with them, they're changing from the Nexus ClearSign to another provider. Forget what the name is. I had the craziest Ron on Friday night. It took me 2 hours. For those that do Ron, you know that is just preposterous. The system glitched. The lady couldn't get her ID together. But you know what I did? I was patient. I said, that's okay. I'm gonna slip her this Google review as soon as this session is over. And I bet you she gave me 5 stars for being real patient. And lo and behold, she did. But they are changing over to a new system. So if you're working with Closing Exchange, or, I think they're the ones that are moving because they just had a lot of issues with them. But that's it. If you want practice, you can do eNotary Log. You don't have to complete the section. If you want just practice, you sign up. They do make you put your card in, but you do not get billed unless you actually hit the button that says complete notarization. So if you want just some practice with a platform that is slightly easier than some of the ones that we've had on this show, that is a good one to practice with. And you can send it to yourself, send it to your neighbor, send it to your friend, and practice tagging. But just don't click complete notarization, because then you will get charged.
And if you want to, we can try that one Sunday. Anybody who wants to really do that. But our guest is here. So Dominica, right? Dominica Robinson.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it about 20 times. Everybody on here knows. I tell everybody's name, so please forgive me. It's not perfect.
Okay. It's okay.
Dominica Robinson of C.O.I.N Notary Service. Thank you so much. I met her through Facebook. I think I hit you up through Facebook, but I saw you somewhere. I saw you on YouTube, and I was just so impressed with you. So I reached out because you have so much great success that you can share with the group today. So Maryland Coins, welcome Dominica Robinson.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me. So like you said, my name is Dominica. I own C.O.I.N Notary Service. We're here located in Sacramento, California. And we started back in 2019. And initially I just kind of started as something to kind of, supplement income. I really didn't know where it was going to go. And I'm in the loan signing space. I started with loan signings, and that's still my primary function, but I also do general notary work as well. And I don't know, I would say about less than a year in, maybe about 6 months in, I started realizing that it was going to be bigger than I initially thought. It just kind of took off. I primarily marketed my business to other real estate professionals, like real estate agents, loan officers. I still do that primarily. And I just started making great connections, like really off the top. I would say like within the first 3 months, I got a couple of direct clients via real estate agents and title companies. And I realized like, wow, this is going to be a little bit bigger than I anticipated. So I just basically leaned into that. I would say at the end of 2020, I started getting so much business that, I was turning down a lot of business, and I was saying no a lot. And I didn't really particularly like that. So I was on the fence about starting a signing service just because, I was networking with a lot of other signing service owners, and I saw how stressful it is. And so I wasn't sure that that's something that I wanted to dive into. However, it just eventually made sense for my business. It didn't make sense for me to keep turning signings away. I think when you get to that point, if you are a loan signing agent, you have so much business, it is something that you need to consider. So I decided to start my signing service, which is called the Notary Boss Network. And I really just started with myself and 2 other notaries that I kind of handpicked and hand trained. And initially it was just like the 3 of us, and I would just kind of subcontract signings to them. And I started small like that because, again, I didn't want to run into all the stress of things. You know, the bigger your service grows, the more issues that you're going to run into, errors and all that. And I just, those type of things give me a lot of anxiety. So I started small, but as of today, my network is way bigger. I probably have at least over 50 notaries that sign for me pretty regularly. And with that, like I said, it is more work. It is more stress. I would say within the last couple of weeks, I've been running into a lot of issues with notary errors, and that causes issues with my clients. And it's just, I've gotten to the point where I've just accepted that's just part of the business, and you just have to know how to roll with it and move forward. So that's where we're at now. And then also this year, I'm launching California Notary Academy, and we are focusing on California notarial law. And I found that most of us, even myself included, once I got into the notary loan signing space, I felt that my notarial law knowledge was lacking. You know, it just wasn't where it should have been. And so I started to take it upon myself to educate myself a lot more as it relates to what our laws are, because that obviously is the basis of what we do. But I feel that a lot of us kind of lack in that space. And so based on that, I've decided to move my like teaching and mentoring to California specific law. So that's what we're working on launching right now as we speak. So that's what I've really been busy with recently. So that's a little bit about me and kind of where I'm at. I love being a notary. I love being a loan signing agent. And this business is just really, you know, kind of changed my life in a lot of different ways. So, yeah.
So what were you doing before you became a notary? Because I know a lot of people are not from this world. And so I like people to know that if you have to change careers, it's probably one of the best ones that you can get without having a degree, but yet you can make 100,000 or whatever you want to make in this notary profession.
So I still, to answer your question, I work for the government. I'm a civil servant, and I'm still a civil servant. I'm an auditor. I've been an auditor now for probably about 5 years. But I've had all different types of roles in the government, primarily in HR, human resources, labor relations. And I'm also not a new entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur. This is not my first business. I've had several other businesses throughout my lifetime. That's just always been a part of who I am. You know, I've always, you know, been in the workforce, either corporate or, like I said, now on the government side, but there's something in me that always wants to have my own. So that entrepreneur part of me has always been there. I will say that the notary space and the notary loan signing business, this has been my most successful business. I've had businesses in the past that failed. They just didn't do well at all. And so I feel like I'm finally in a business that I could see like, oh, this is sustainable and, you know, more long-term, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So I just want to remind everybody that you are welcome to unmute and talk directly to Dominica Robinson. Don't kill me. So you can talk directly to her because she has some exciting stuff going on. So she's a serial entrepreneur. So she has some great things to tell you even outside of being notary. So what are your top 5 things that you would say to a new notary? What are the 5 top things that you think they need to do?
I would say take the education component seriously. A lot of newer notaries that I speak to are attracted, I think, by the money aspect or a lot of the maybe ads that they're seeing. And of course, those ads are there to bring you in. And there is, with this business, like any business, opportunity to make a lot of money. But I think that that shouldn't really be the primary focus. The money will come, but I really encourage people to educate themselves and just not be so focused on the money aspect, because there are a lot of notaries here in this state. I'm sure in your state, but then there's not a lot of good notaries. And so I think the education.
Oh, Dee said, she agreed with you.
Yeah, so the education component, I think, is what really makes you a good notary. And just knowing, like, is this a good fit for you? You know, you really have to take the time to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. You know, this is not for everybody, in my opinion. Everybody could do it. It's not like anybody can learn how to be a notary, sure, but it's not for everybody. It's at the same time, I think it's certain things like attention to detail and being meticulous that you need to have. And I don't think everybody has that. The other thing I would say is it kind of goes in line with what I just said, make sure that it's something that you love to do. I really love this business. You know, I've run into some clients that say that, you know, they might have worked with notaries and they don't have the best attitudes and things along that line. So in those instances, I would ask yourself, like, is this something that you like doing? Like, you know, I think you really need to love or like what you do. I think that's what anything. The other big thing I would say is to understand that this is a business. Some people I talk to are still kind of operating in the mindset of like this being a job. You know, I was speaking to someone about this yesterday, and they were saying that they were frustrated first starting because it was like nobody telling them each step to do. It's like, that's not what this is. You know, it's not a job where somebody's going to give you a training manual and you follow, you know, steps A to Z. You really have to have the mind of a business owner and really understand that this is a business. And some people are lacking in that area. And if you are, you know, get help, elicit help. You know, there are people out there that can help you with the business side of it, because a lot of people are lacking on that side as well. But I think it's really important for people to understand that this is your own business. You're the owner, you're running it. It has your name on it, and you're not an employee. So that's a big one. The other thing is, I would say to know what you're dealing with as far as like the liability aspect of it. I think some people don't realize how many things you're liable for as a notary, and how important the laws that are in place, why they are there, and your responsibilities. And I guess that goes hand in hand with the education component of it. A lot of people are, some people I should say, are notaries and don't even understand the full capacity that they're in and why things are the way they are, and how important it is to follow the laws that are in place and what the consequences are for not, you know, following certain laws. So that's really important, really understanding your role and how crucial it is and how crucial all the components are. That's a big one. What else? And then I would say understanding how, I don't know about where you all are, but here, like how this space is kind of small, you know, and everybody kind of knows each other. And once you kind of get into the space, like word spreads around pretty quickly. And so just keeping a good reputation and keeping, you know, not burning bridges, I think is really important. Because I see so many things like on these Facebook groups, and a lot of people just, oh my God, saying all kind of crazy stuff, and they don't realize like how many people see these things and how many conversations are had. And, you know, some of those things can like make or break you know, your business. So
all right, which includes signing agencies. They see that stuff that people
yeah they do.
That can really. I think Cassandra had a question for you. Go ahead, Cassandra.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for joining us today. So quick question, have you noticed a decrease in the amount of business because of like the increase in interest rates, or, you know, they talk about rising inflation, potential recession. Have you noticed like things slow down a little bit?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this industry is driven by interest rates. So interest rates being higher, business is slower. I mean, that's just what it is. But it's also a numbers game. So for me, I've just basically had to be really honest with myself and my clients. Like my clients have been really honest with me too. They're telling me straight up, like, we're slow right now. I don't have that much business to give you. And so with that, I've just been increasing my efforts on and getting more clients basically, because it's a numbers game. So maybe like the five clients I had last year were keeping me so super busy. Like I need to increase that to now 10 clients. Like those same 5 clients have less business to give me, and they're being very transparent about that. I mean, the higher the interest rates are, the less people are going to be out there buying, and it's affecting the qualification standards as well. I've heard that the to qualify for the loan right now is a little harder as well. So you're going to have buyers out there who might want to buy a home, but they're not qualifying right now. So I mean, it just is what it is. The market's going to always do that. It's going to go up and down, up and down. I think that we're in a market right now where we're gonna see like a thinning out, of a lot of notaries, because everybody's just not going to be able to roll with the punches. It just is what it is.
That's so true. I think that this is probably the best time for people to market themselves. And like you said, roll with the punches, because they're going to see those people who just was in it for the money, and they're going to leave. And so those people who stick with them are going to be requested when the tides turn again.
Exactly. And then you're going to get busy again, because like I said, there's going to be a weeding out. And then those of us who are still here, that we're going to get that business. So
hang on. And those in Maryland, we have to get a TIPIC license, a title insurance producers contract license. And so for those who haven't received it yet, still get it and still market yourself. Do not, stop because the market is what some people consider slow. Because if you market yourself out there, you can beat out anybody that does not market themselves or goes to apostilles or choose something else until they think that loan sign is going to bring more money. Just stay the course.
Yeah, I agree.
Hello, Miss Robinson. There's another Robinson. I was like, oh, they related, because I haven't seen her in a while. She just happened to show up today, Miss Smith Robinson over there. But so thank you so much. If anybody has any other questions, she still has a whole story to tell, because I want to hear more about your loan sign. I know you talked a little bit about your agency, but I want to hear some more about. I want to hear about your crazy story that happened with your loan sign, and how did you work it out? Because I know you got some stories after 2 years.
It's a
you
mess.
got something for us.
It's a
I like
hot
those
mess.
kind of stories. I want to hear all the crazy stuff too. There's good things, and then there's crazy stuff. It's just life.
Yeah, it's more good than anything though. So I can't complain. I just, for me, I have control issues. So I think that's my biggest issue with owning a business, number one, because in order to grow, you can't do everything by yourself, no matter what type of business you're in. You have to let go of certain things. You have to start delegating things. And so that's always been a struggle for me in life, period. And so I'm just really learning how to, kind of be a little bit more hands off so that I can continue to grow. And so with the signing service, it's just, for me, the number one thing is errors. I mean, errors they're going to happen in this business, but man, it when you have errors and they're not caused by you directly, but they're still caused by you directly, if that makes sense. That's the way my clients see it. Like they don't care about the notary that did it. They don't care. It's my business, and it reflects upon me, and it usually is gonna sometimes reflect on my relationship with the client. I had a couple recently, like kind of back to back, where I had one where this notary, for whatever reason, didn't even have any of the title documents. They only printed the loan documents. And I don't know how that happened, but they did the signing, shipped everything back, and my client called like,
where the rest of my stuff?
Yeah, all
well, where's the rest of my papers?
Like, what?
I say it for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, those situations, all you could do is, okay, let me hurry up and get this fixed. And thankfully, a lot of the notaries that I work with, I I have like a repeat relationship with them and we have really good relationships. So I never get any issues where, they give me any pushback. They go and they fix it right away. In that situation she did, but yeah, I mean, it just causes some tension with the clients. And honestly, of course I'm apologetic. I usually will follow up with them even with like a little, I'm sorry, card or something to try to make sure, we're still good, number one. Number two, and just let them know whatever they need, whatever needs to happen, I'm going to make sure that it's fixed because I want to continue this relationship with them for the long haul, and so it's a lot of communication that goes on. There's a lot of stress involved in this industry. So a lot of times, they will be angry, they will express that, but I don't take it personally because it's not personal. It's a lot of stress going on. They're getting pulled from a lot of different directions with this one transaction. So a lot of times they'll come back to me and be like, I'm sorry, I understand, blah, 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 so I never take it personally. That was one. And then I had another one recently too, that, what is this? I almost forgot. The, oh, I had one and the notary didn't do the scans right away. It took them like a really long time to do the scans. And this was on a purchase and it was just a mess. By the time she did the scans, it was kind of too late. And so the escrow officer let me know, basically this cost them a lot more money because there was funding delays. And for the first time, I end up basically telling this notary, I'm not gonna be able to use them anymore because that's how bad it was. And that wasn't their first error. That was just the one, the nail in the coffin, basically. I was just and I felt bad because mistakes happen. But like I said, this notary had several other kind of little mistakes here and there. And this one was just really big. And I just you know what? I'm just not gonna be able to use you no more because
that messes up your reputation and your business.
Yeah.
So when an error like that happens, does that when your E&O insurance kicks in, or did they work with you and just didn't penalize you?
No, I've never had anything come up on my E&O insurance.
Oh, okay. I was just asking because you said they messed up
and from what I've heard, that's kind of rare from what I've heard anyways. I mean, all errors can be fixed. All errors are fixable, right? So yeah, I haven't had anything that's that detrimental where somebody wants to file a claim. No, I've never had that.
You said they mess with their money. That's why I'm asking. So
no, I mean, no. And when she says funding delays, I mean, of course, nobody wants anything to cost extra money, but we're talking about maybe hundreds of dollars, which is still a lot of money, but I've never had any I'm gonna file a claim on there, no.
Well, good. I hope that never happens at all.
I hope so too. Yeah. I don't want none of that
at all. So, when you go direct, what method of promotion work best for you? How do you market yourself?
So, excuse me, I market myself primarily to other real estate professionals. That's always been my go-to. I have went into title companies blindly. I have done that, but that's not my primary way of marketing. I like to market to real estate agents specifically. That's my go-to. I go to a lot of networking events. I participate in a lot of events that are real estate agent driven. And all of my direct clients, I've really gotten through real estate agents, that I've marketed to, because really notaries don't typically market to real estate agents or loan officers. I market to loan officers as well. And so I really basically have kind of built my business expressing to them how important it is to have a good notary on their team. And I kind of sell it as, we're a team. So I work with specifically a real estate agent and a loan officer. And so any referrals I have for people that need a real estate agent go to them, and same thing for the loan officer. And we kind of all work as a group. And so when they close on homes, I'm the notary on the deal. And from there, I always am able to meet the escrow officer, obviously. So whoever they open up escrow with, I meet that escrow officer. And of course, the escrow officer is typically very open to me doing that signing for that real estate agent because that's their client. But then from there, I tend to lean in and build a relationship with them so that I can get more business from them that has nothing to do with that real estate agent, if that makes sense. So the real estate agent basically is just kind of like my introduction to the title office. And that's always worked really good for me because, you know, having like that warm introduction via someone that they already know and trust and is their client and they want more business from, they're more apt to, you know, do whatever that person says because that's their client. They want more business from them. But like I said, past that one signing that you'll get from that agent that you've connected with or that loan officer, that's when a lot of the work comes in and like trust building for them to give you more business. And that takes a little bit more time, but it always, I won't say always is. I have had times where it doesn't work for me, but over 60% of the time it works.
Right, because this is a relationship industry and networking gets you in the door for real.
Yeah.
This is D'Angela, well, Dee Dee. I have a question about your area of service. And I see on your website that you're just doing the counties in California. Do you do outside of California? And if you do, what platform are you using through a platform or do you call direct? And the reason I'm asking is because I'd like to sign up with your group.
Oh, okay, cool. So, you know, but just recently I've decided to start doing signings outside of California. California has been my focus 100%. But as we spoke earlier, you know, obviously things are slowing down. And because of the slowdown, I'm trying to open myself up to get as much other business as possible. So yeah, I've let all my title companies know that I work with that have orders that are in other states that we can accommodate that because we can. I do have, although it is advertised like that on my website, on the website that you're looking at, I have notaries in my database from other states. I do. And so when any of my clients have orders that needs to be filled for properties outside of California, we can accommodate that. So yeah, for sure, we can sign up. Yeah, that's something I'm more actively pursuing. I would say like within the last month or two.
Thank you.
Now, I know you might be in California, but what are the 3 common mistakes you see as a loan signing agent from your notaries?
Oh gosh. The most common ones I see are missed stamps. Like for whatever reason, they be missing stamps. That's like the most common one. And then here we have to write notary public after our name. They miss that. That would be like the second one. And then what would be the third? The stamps, the writing notary public after your name. And then from there, it just be sporadic stuff. But I would say missing signatures. But I usually catch that though, because when I have notaries that sign for me, especially if they're new, I require them to scan documents to me first so I can check them. And that's one that I found on newer notaries. I'll just be like, this whole signature is missed. Like, you gotta go back. That initials, specifically like on the notice of right to cancel, like if there's a date filled in or corrected, I've noticed initials are missed. But again, a lot of these for me, fortunately, I've seen mostly on newer notaries. It's probably just like a training issue. And then once they learn or want my more experienced notaries, I don't really see that. But my more experienced notaries, I still will see like they'll miss a stamp or writing notary public after their name.
Okay, cool. I see another raised hand, but I can't see who it is unless you already answered it. Christine, Tamiko, y'all don't have to raise your hand. You can just jump in.
Okay, go ahead, Christine. Oh, wait.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Dominica. Thank you so much for this information. I'm a new notary and I'm just trying to set up my business now. But I have another business. So what advice can you give other than time management in terms of juggling 2 businesses so that one doesn't suffer? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Because I struggle with that. And
She's still learning.
yeah, I would say focus. I mean, that's something that I struggle with a lot. You have to be laser focused, and you also have to start asking yourself, for me anyways, I've started to ask myself, like, where exactly should my focus be going? Like, I have to make sure that if I'm doing multiple things, like, does it make sense? Like, sometimes I have to cut things off or pull back on things because you don't want to get to the point where you're doing too much and one thing is not being effective. Because when you have multiple things going on, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much time that you can focus on certain things.
Mhm.
So a lot of times one thing will go lacking, if that makes sense. So you either have
Yes.
to, you have to just ask yourself these questions, or, like I was talking about earlier, I have to get help. You can't do everything. You can try, but a lot of times it won't be successful,
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want things to be successful and you
Yes.
have a lot of different things going on, you have to start getting help. Because that's kind of where I'm at. I have the things that I'm juggling. I have other people helping me with it. There's like no possible way that I could do everything by myself. And then I have to, like, on a daily basis, I have a board up here that I'm looking at. I have to be very intentional about where I'm putting my time and how much of my time I'm putting in certain areas based on what I'm trying to accomplish. So you have to be really organized.
Great advice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Tamika?
Yes, thank you, Miss Pam. I had one. I think you are so right, Dominica, when you mentioned about that education piece, and I know Miss Pam also stresses that to us.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep up with the legislative things that are happening, are you like subscribing to certain websites to get this info, or going to workshops, or what are you getting to stay in the know, so to speak, on this, so that we can stay abreast of all the changes that take place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of the above. I participate in workshops. I stay up on top of all of like the NNA's information as it relates to my state when we're talking about laws. And then there's also a California group here that I'm a part of that focuses on notarial law. And then again, like I said, I'm forming a group also that focuses on California notarial law. So for me, that's just required a lot of studying. I find myself doing a lot more studying, a lot more reading now. I'm reading a lot of legal books. So yeah, again, that's just time, time, studying, education. So on my end, I'm taking more of a role as a teacher. So I'm having to do a lot of independent study. But as a student's perspective, there's a lot of groups that, you can subscribe to that will keep you informed on like legal changes and things along that line. And that's what I've done in the past. I still do now, even though I'm kind of switching roles. I'll subscribe to different groups that I know stay on top of the laws that are, changing and legislation like that in my state. So that's really important. I always stress other notaries do the same. Like I'll sometimes post information on my Facebook page and things along that line. And I'm just like asking, like, hey, are you all reading this? You guys kind of see what's going on? Because a lot of people are not even taking the time to read a lot of the things that are coming out. So
thank you so much for that. The reading is fundamental, and you're so right.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this information you're giving us here. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Reading is fundamental. That's the truth. A lot of the questions that some people ask, I know they didn't read a thing, because some of that stuff is in the first paragraph, right? Did it?
Yeah, a lot of us are. It's I don't know if it's social media or what, but the attention spans are a lot smaller now. And gosh, yeah. You got to put things in like a couple of sentences, and after that, people just their attention is gone. So I don't know, but with the legal stuff, you got to take a little bit more time. You have to, or you won't know what's going on.
And I also believe you need to review your work, because I don't leave the table without, I turn the pages down when I'm writing, and then I review turning the pages back up. And then I get in the car and look again. And when I get home before I send out, I look again. Because I have missed an initial, and I know I looked at that document 4 times, and you still miss that one thing. But a lot of times, if you just look once, twice, and when you think in the back of your head, you go, "Oh, did I check that? Look again."
Yeah,
So
I
you
think
think
sometimes
if
the
people had a
brain is on
checklist?
autopilot, so it's very important. I tell my notaries to, when you are looking and reviewing, even consciously, you have to tell your mind what you're looking for, because sometimes your mind is just on autopilot, and the brain and the eyes, it's very easy to, you might look at a page and you still are going to miss something, so.
Do you think if people had brought a checklist with them, that could help with jogging the memory, that they didn't miss anything when they do the review at the end?
Yeah, that's a very good idea. I think that you should do whatever works for you. Yeah. I some things work for certain people and some things don't. So I think you have to do whatever works for you.
One of the things that's been helpful for me is I'm still using sticky tabs. And when the signers are going through, I just ask them kindly, you can go ahead and leave the sticky tabs in place, because when we're finished, similarly, I'm able to watch what they're doing is my first point of check. And then when they finish, I ask them, hey, give me a few minutes to just run through everything so you don't have to see my face again. And because the stickies are still in place, because that autopilot, Dominique, which I didn't even realize I was doing it. And so when I was reviewing things, I was like, you're just staring at a paper. You're not really consciously looking at what could possibly be an error. Like if you're working on a essay or something and you're typing the same thing, you kind of know what it's going to say. So even when you're proofreading it, you're just skimming it, and you're not, you're liable to miss things. So I found that helpful for me, leaving all of my look, I got my basket and I'm so frugal. I reuse my stickies until the stickies are gone, the stickiness is gone. And that has really helped me catch and miss things. So as I'm going through it before I leave their house, I'm actually now focusing on, and I'm so OCD, so I have color coordinated stickies. So pink is for me because my journal's pink, my stamp is pink. So anything that's pink, that's what I know I'm looking for. Theirs is yellow or green. And it just helps me narrow in when I'm reviewing, as opposed to that blind, subconscious glare at the page that I was doing.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
And so for those who love YouTube, if you go to Griffin's Notary, he has a whole video on that, because that's where I got that from, where he showed you how to prepare your documents. I'm like Shanita, I still use it. I'm not professional enough. I'm not professional so much, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not so professional that I can't use those sticky notes, because they really do help, especially you've got a couple of things to do. But he has a nice free one. He has training classes now, which I paid, but he has a free one that talks about how to prepare your documents. And it's excellent. That's all I have to say. Everybody's like, what? So Candace is going to come in here as well, y'all, so we can talk about the new bill that they just passed. So did y'all have any other questions of our special guest today? She has given us her time all the way from California, ran home from church, and she said, what did the preacher talk about today? What did the preacher have to say today? What was the word of the day?
Oh my goodness, it was really good. It was about just really loving on each other, and not just, saying like, oh yeah, I'm there for you, but like really actively. Yeah,
I'm gonna pray for you and you ain't pray for me. Really? Don't do that.
Like really being there for each other, fellowshipping, what that really means, So yeah, it was a good reminder, because a lot of times, even myself, I think all of us get kind of selfish and to ourselves, and just kind of a reminder that what it really means to be a friend to someone, and be there for each other. So yeah, it was good.
That's a good lesson.
Like
for real.
Can I ask a question? It's not really about notary, Pam. Is that okay?
Girl, do what you do. This is a girl time, I guess, because only the ladies are here today. So whatever you gotta say, let's go.
Miss Dominica, I just want to ask you about your name, because I'm from Dominica, so I just want to know how you got your name.
Oh, what's up? Okay, I've met so many people recently. I don't know what this is about. I met a lot of people recently from Dominica. This is interesting. But yeah, my name, everybody asked me that. My dad named me, his name is Donald, and I think he was just on a D kid because he named me Dominica. He named my sister Danielle. I don't think it was anything like other than that. He wanted the D's. That was it.
You should. The L that made it so deep that it's not that deep now. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, people think that I'm from the country. I'm not. I'm like a serious California girl, and yeah, I've never even been to the country, but I do want to go. That's on my travel list. I'm a big traveler, so yeah, I'm gonna get there.
Because I met somebody from Dominic. I met somebody with the name Dominica. I asked them about the name. They said their parents traveled to Dominica. They loved it so much to the name that
that's special.
Like Paris.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had a story like that, but I don't. My dad just.
But tell them the story. Just go ahead and tell them that's the story.
Yeah, yeah. I asked my dad that, like, where did you get this from, dude? Like, because he's not even a traveler. So, but yeah, that's it. It's nothing exotic.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, give us 1 second before you leave. Does anybody else want to give her a confirmation? Any more questions, comments? Because I've enjoyed your time, and I'm praying for your success to continue. You get that assistant that you need. Because you're so big now, you need an assistant, baby girl, because you can't do it all your own.
Yeah.
In order for you to grow, you got to delegate it now. So
yeah, I'm definitely delegating.
Definitely. We praying for her assistant. Y'all put your hand toward anyway. But y'all make sure that you get your assistant so your business can grow beyond your own belief. Okay?
I had an assistant, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh Lord, okay, I know.
Oh my God, that's a whole nother story. Like hiring people, and God help me. But yeah,
hiring the right people, really.
Yeah,
we can hire a whole bunch of people. They just terrible. I get
know.
Any last things, ladies? If not, we want to say goodbye to you unless you want to stay, because Candace has just arrived and she's going to give us some information about the 317 Senate bill that just passed.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've enjoyed being here. I'm gonna go. If nobody has questions, I have to take my son to a birthday party.
Okay. Well, enjoy the birthday party. We will not hold up your time.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great one.
Bye.
All right, Miss Candace Willis.
Willie.
Willie, girl, I messed up everybody's name today, so come on. Candace Willie. Oh, you know who I messed her up with? What's the guy name that's been in our group, y'all?
Cortez Willis. Yes.
I done married you off to somebody else. I'm so sorry, Candace Willie. Candace is going to correct me if she don't do nothing else. She's going to correct me. But anyway, Candace Willie, she announced to us that the Senate had passed the 317 bill, and so she's just going to share with us real briefly about the bill. So take it away, Miss Candace.
Your hair looks nice, Pam.
Oh, thank you, girl. It's too high for wigs now, girl. Got to let the natural flow, okay? And we're going to say hi to the baby girl. She usually around you, so where is she?
She's sleeping.
Oh, she always sleeps, though. She either sleep or anyway. Go ahead, Candace. Don't mind me.
So, hi, everybody. Yeah, 317 passed. And right now, there is, from what I understand, no plan of action in place for notaries to have their voices heard. I wanted to get into the political process before the bill passed, and I didn't know how. I just kept calling and asking questions. And then one day I was able to get Michael on the phone at the Secretary of State, and he explained to me how the process works. So we have an opportunity to speak on the regulations that are presented once they're posted on the Secretary of State website. Mm-hmm. In the past, regulations have been created, and Michael said to me that no one commented on those regulations. And if there's nothing to consider, then they will push the regulations through and publish them in the handbook the way that they write them. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Mm-hmm. So our time is to say something when the regulations are posted for review on the website. That's going to be sometime in July. It's going to be posted on the Notary Division section at the top of the page. And it's going to have the law is going to have the regulation that the Secretary of State has written, and then there'll be an email address for notaries to make public comment on those laws. I'm sorry, on those regulations.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to put together a unified front. Some notaries, about 10 notaries, have given me their information in order to do some campaigning. We want to do some campaigning to notaries. We want to do some campaigning to the senators. Both groups, there may be people in them that don't know that the bill has passed, don't know anything about the bill. So it's our job, if they don't know, is to educate them and explain to them the importance of this bill. And we're going to split the directories up into groups. So if anybody is willing to participate in calling, I am going to create a script to give out so that we won't be calling blindly. I'm going to call a couple of people myself first to get a feel for what's the idea around the bill right now. And I'm going to use that to help me make the script to call other people, the notaries and the senators. Today, I started creating the Excel spreadsheet for the senators. There's 47, and I have the RON directory. And then I'm going to go to each county and download the notaries for each county. I know a lot of notaries on those lists are not active. Roughly, I believe there are about 80,000 notaries in Maryland. According to Nicole Bob, she was on the Clubhouse replay on Friday. She mentioned that. So if we present something unified, I think it will look more polished. Our voices will be heard more clearly. And if we don't agree with the regulations, I feel it could get us somewhere further as a group instead of individuals.
Yes, we are stronger in numbers.
So it's a 90-day process. The 90-day process started the day the bill passed. And the 30 days that we have for public comment is included in that 90-day process. So if there are public comments, which there will be because we all know about it now, so we're going to comment, whether it's good, bad, or we agree, we're going to say something so that we don't look like we're not active in our jobs. So we're going to make public comment. They'll take that back, consider what we say. If they think what we are saying is justified, they will rewrite the reg. When the reg was rewritten, then it has to go back to the AELR committee. That's the committee made up of a bunch of lawyers to make sure that the regulation meets the law. And AELR is Administrative Executive Legislative Review. As long as it matches and doesn't go outside of the law, they're cool with it. They're not like there to nitpick things apart. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I do want to let you know that whatever we need to do to make things happen for ourselves, I'm in it with you, Candace.
Okay, I appreciate that support.
Candace, curious if, like, you know how sometimes when you campaign and people start writing petitions or they have to get like a certain number of names, you know, before they'll even be considered, is that a factor here at all? Or
I didn't inquire that specifically. No, I don't know that answer.
Okay.
Hi, Candace. This is Christine.
Hey.
Hamilton. You already have my information. I'm willing to help in any kind of way. I was just wondering, in terms of the script, is there also certain information that we can post on our individual sites to educate notaries that we know in our own areas of
I can create something. That's a helpful suggestion. I can create something to share with you so you could post on your page.
Okay, thank you.
Now, one thing I did post on my page yesterday, people are already talking about, oh, we can charge $25, we can charge $50. No, you cannot.
Yep.
The fees
Yep.
are still what they are until we get that new handbook. Just because the law says one thing, you have to have a regulation to match it for it to be in effect. So you can't go by just the law. They go hand in hand. So people are already in that mindset of the 50 and the 25. Yes.
So hold up. Hold on.
And if they do it, they're going to get in trouble.
Well, we can still post it and just put that as a disclaimer that they're going to let us know when it's actually in effect.
Yeah.
As always.
Candace, was the Clubhouse recorded? Is it something you can go back and replay it? It is.
It's recorded, yes.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't able to make it.
What's the Clubhouse name? What is the Clubhouse? The name of the Clubhouse?
The room.
The Notary.
Call to action. I think it's attention Maryland Notaries. I can share the link with you guys. Just send me your email and I'll email you the link. It is on my page also.
I was just looking, I didn't see it. It's on your personal page?
My business page, I'm sorry, I didn't specify.
Got it. Okay.
I just put my email address in the chat. And Candace, what's your business page?
The Signature Pros.
Okay.
Any other questions? Because Livy did wake up. Pam talked her up.
Why y'all trying to blame me?
So what can we do right now? I mean, you have our email information for those that are willing to, see where we can fit in. What is something that we can do now? Like what would be the next step outside of I want to listen to the
Tonight I started the Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to email the Google link. I'm going to let everybody have open access to the Google link. And you'll be able to see the senators, you'll be able to see the RON directory, you'll see the traditional notary directory, and you'll be able to comment on what section you're willing to, I'm gonna break it up into section by color code, and you can comment on the document and say, I'm willing to take this particular section to call people.
Okay,
that's what we'll do for now.
Okay.
And then I'll write the script, and then everything in that Google link, the scripts, the stuff that you guys could post on YouTube, I'm sorry, your pages, all that stuff will be in that Google Doc folder.
Awesome.
And
Thank
you can share with other people, and then they'll have access because I'll make it public.
Candace, will it be okay to send a text as well?
To people with their phone numbers? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Secretary of State office said that the applicant process has dropped 50% since there's a requirement for us for new notaries. You have to do the test and the course, and for renewing notaries, you just do the course. And people have stopped renewing. People aren't applying for their new notary commission as much as they used to. I just wanted to give that as an FYI.
Well, then that's more business for us, isn't it? That could be a good thing, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of they said a lot of people just came in because we had that pandemic and they saw everything on social media and it, being highlighted and praised and all of that stuff. So a lot of people just signed up because they saw the money in it. They didn't really want to do it. So a lot of them aren't going to be in it for the long haul. I'm serious. You Mark Wills tell everybody you can make $100,000 a year. We in a pandemic. What you gonna do? You gonna follow that trail a little bit. But now that sometimes people are getting back to reality, it might not be as important to them to be in this profession. But it's more money for us. What you think, Takesha? Because you mighty quiet today, Miss Smith Robinson.
That's because she's still on Vegas time out there partying. I was so jealous of all the pictures.
But Candace, I say thank you for your time. I really appreciate that
Yes.
you are
Yes,
handling this
thank you.
on our behalf. But we're behind you. We're beside you. We're wherever you want us to be. Because this is all about our money at the end of the day, right? So if you don't fight for yourself,
and for those
don't
people that want to do Ron, this is the perfect bill.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
When I saw that, I said, I know Shanita then jumped out of her chair. $50.
Yes, and look, I was like, Candace, here's my friend request. Let me. What we doing? What's next?
Right. So if you don't fight for nobody else, you better fight for your right in this industry. Okay, it's not up to Candace. It's up to all of us in Maryland to band together and make it happen.
What's your schedule like tomorrow?
I was talking.
I'm sorry.
So rude.
I thought you were at the end. I am so sorry. So rude.
Let me check real quick. Yeah, because you were supposed to call me last week.
I know I got busy. I'm sorry.
I have I'm free between 10 and 1, and then not again till after 5. So from 5 to 8. 10 to 1 or 5 to 8.
I'll call you between those times. It'll be quick.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, Pam. I'm sorry. I owe you.
I don't even care no more. Cindy, I miss you. I ain't seen you in a minute. And Tamiko. Tamiko done passed her test and anybody heard from her. But because I'm gonna end the recording. So anybody have any more questions of Candace? Candace, you can do one last plea to everybody, because I am gonna post this one because this is very important for those who are notaries in the state of Maryland.
Okay. No, I don't have any last things, Pam.
No, just to be clear, like, what do you want them to email you or whatever you want for them who want to be part of this?
If you're willing to participate, email me at CWILLIE@thesignaturePros.com and I will add you to the Google Doc.
All right. Well, this is Powerhouse Pen Waters with Maryland Coins Notary Show. Everybody have a good night. Don't forget to subscribe to Maryland Coins with Pam Waters and follow me on TikTok as Miss H2OS the Notary. Anybody else want to put this stuff out there while we doing this? Okay. Going once, going twice. Nope. Okay.
Anybody interested in travel, call me.
Stop. I'm just playing. Have a good night, everybody. Don't y'all hang up. Don't leave. I'm just stopping the recording. All right, because y'all, I got to do every
I'll
Sunday.
check back.